Hello everyone. Today we are going to talk about consumer decision making and diffusion of innovations. Our first learning objective is to understand the consumer decision making process and consumer decision journey. We know that the consumer decision making model include three components, which is input, process, and output. The input into deciding what to buy include the offering, the influence of reference groups, words of mouth, social media, and advertising information. Psychology process the input, while outcomes are the functions of learning and forming attitude. The model of consumer decision making ties together the idea on consumer decision making and consumption behavior discussed throughout what we have learned in this semester. It is designed to synthesize and coordinate relevant concepts into a significant whole. So the consumer journey basically begins with needs recognition and in the output stage, which include consumer, the product or the services. Consumption is assumed, not stated, in the decision-making model. It expands the decision-making model to include engage, interact, and actively advocates. So, in the input component of the consumer decision-making, models basically include three types of external influences. The first one is the marketing mix, which consists of strategies designed to reach, inform, and persuade consumers to buy the marketeer's products repeatedly. They include the product, advertising, and other promotional efforts, pricing policy, and the distribution channels that move the product from the manufacturer to the consumer. Second type of external influences is the social cultural influences, which include the consumer's family, peers, social class, reference group, culture, and, if applicable, it's the subculture. Last but not least of type of external influencer is the input, which include communications, which are the mechanisms that deliver the marketing mix and social cultural influences to consumer. So let's move on to the process. The process component of the model is concerned with how consumers make decisions. The model's psychological field consists of the internal influences, which is the motivations, perception, learning, personality, and attitudes that affect consumers' decision-making processes, which why they need or want, their awareness of various products choices, their information gathering activities, and their evaluation of alternatives. The first of the three stages in the process part of the model is need recognition. Now, needs recognitions occur when a consumer is faced with a problem. Some needs are actual states type, who perceive that they have a problem when a product fails to perform satisfactorily. For example, a cordless telephone that develops consistent static. So some needs are desire states type, for whom the desire for something new may trigger the decision process. Now let's move on to the decisions spectrum. So not all consumer decision-making situations are the same, and marketers generally put them into these three groups. At one extreme, it's extensive problem solving, which usually involve a lot of information, whereas routinized response behavior usually require little or no information. Whereas limited problem solving basically lies in the middle of these two extremes, where new information is often added and a criterion for evaluation is formed. So consumers tend to have little experience with the product category when engaging in extensive problem solving, as opposed to being very familiar with a routinized purchase. Now, if you look at this ad features itself, okay, basically it's by the Gemological Institute of America, GIA, a non-profit educational institute of the jewelry industry. Now, in consumer decision-making term, purchasing a diamond represents extensive problem solving because consumers buy diamonds infrequently and have no established criteria for evaluating them. The GIA ads basically tells the buyers what to look for in a diamond. Basically, it's the carat weight, clarity, color, cutting style, and other features. In contrast, okay, if we look at the Advil advertisement, which is next to GIA advertisement, basically it represents routinized response behavior because consumers have experience with over-the-counter pain reliever and do not need to establish the criteria for evaluating them. So the Advil brand has a quality reputation and it's instantly recognized by millions of consumers around the world. So consumers reach for Advil without much thought. Now, when we talk about the involvement on consumer, okay? Now, we have high involvement and low involvement. Now, high involvement purchases are very important to the consumer because they have a high degree of perceived risk and result in extensive problem solving or limited problem solving. However, when we talk about a low involvement, purchases are not very important. It holds little relevance, have little perceived risk, and are routinized response behavior. Now, let's look at pre-purchase search. Pre-purchase search begins when a consumer perceives a need that might be satisfied by the purchase and consumption of a product. Sometimes recalling past purchases provide the consumers with adequate information to make the present choice. However, when the consumers has had no prior experience, he or she may have to engage in an extensive search of the outside environment for useful information on which to base a choice. Now, many consumer decisions are based on a little combination of previous experience and marketing and non-commercial information, which is known also as external sources. So the degree of perceived risk can also influence this stage of the decision process. In high-risk situation, consumers are likely to engage in complex and extensive information search, including shopping on the internet and evaluation. In low-risk situations, they are likely to use very simple or limited search and evaluation tactics. Now, information search contextual factors. Now, it is often thought that because consumers have limited information processing capacity, they must develop a choice strategy based on both individual factors, for example, the knowledge, personality traits, demographics, and contextual factors, which includes the characteristics of the decision task. The three major contextual factors that have been researched are the task complexity, which is the number of alternative and amount of information available for each alternative. Information organization, which is the presentation, format, and context. Last but not least is the time constraint, which is the amount of time the consumer has to decide. Now, factors that increase a search product, which is the product factors. Okay, so basically how long the time between successive purchases, the frequency changes in product styling, the frequent price changes, the volume purchasing, high price, what are the many alternative brands, and much variation in features. Now, factors that could increase the search, because for some product or services, the consumer may have ongoing experience for which to draw, or the purchase may be discretionary so that it's not rushed to make a decision. So mainly is the situational factors, which include the consumer's experience, the social acceptability, the value-related considerations, and it can be also the consumer's factors, which include the demographic and the personality traits. Now let's move on to the evaluation of alternative, which is the brand sets. Now, within the context of consumer decision making, the evoke set, which is consideration set, refer to the specific brand, okay, and a consumer considers in making a purchase within a particular purchase category. So an in-apt set consists of brands that the consumer excludes from purchase